All right, guys, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving my thoughts slash review over the latest episode of Paramount Plus's Tulsa King. We are in season 3. This is episode 4, and this episode is entitled Staring Down the Barrel. Now, if you're new to the channel, guys, I have a scoring system for these reviews. It's 0 to 5, 0 being trash and 5 being a masterpiece. Now, if you've watched my reviews of the first 3 episodes, this has probably been the best season. I've given them high praise, 4.5 4s across the board. Now, I get it. Every episode can't be a banger like that. It can't be out of the park. I mean, it can. There are shows that, very few. Only show I can maybe think of off the top of the head where, a complete season was damn near perfect or perfect was season 1 of True Detective. Now, I get it. Everything is not going to be up there like that. And this episode, I think they took a step back, and it's okay. Sometimes it's cool to take a step back and breathe a little. But I gave this one, guys, I gave this one a solid 3, a 3 out of 5. Not peak television or whatever, but it's not bad. It's just it's just lukewarm, I guess you could say, and so I'm going to talk about, why I thought that was the way it was. So yeah, we got the score out of the way. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get into it. Cause y'all like, what the fuck this motherfucker rambling on and on about? Why don't you just get to the review? All right, I'm gonna get to the review. So, all in all, I just think there wasn't a lot going on, per se in Oklahoma, like in Tulsa, I'll say. But there were things behind the scenes that I would probably say we're going to be affected by, and there are probably 2 or 3 episodes. Some scheming, possibly scheming going on with New York. Vince, we got an appearance of Vince who went to go see Quiet Pete, basically telling him, hey, this is what Dwight's got going on. And of course, he got that information per Bill, which Bill gets a phone call from Quiet Pete later on in the episode, reminding him of the history that Quiet Pete has with his family, and letting them know that, without really saying it, he's kind of telling them like, hey, what you're doing over there, Paisan, you need to be with us. And if you got any kind of problems, hey, don't be afraid to call. Because me and my boy Lance, we talked about this. Me and my brother Lance, we talked about this, is that Dwight, the way he fucking goes about things, particularly like how he talks to Bill, very, very mad, disrespectful. I get it. You're the general, you're the boss. But as a man, there's only so much disrespect you could take like that when you definitely feel you're not necessarily above Dwight, but you're damn near his equal. You're damn near, because you're a boss too. And just the constant disrespect like that, I think he's going to end up siding with New York, which is going to cause a whole shitstorm for Dwight in Tulsa, because we know those guys, Tulsa, they don't have the muscle to deal with if Bill decides to go the other way. And I think that's my theory. I think he's going to side with New York, and then that's when Samuel Jackson's character is going to come in and help us out. And I think he's going to make an alliance with the Agent Musso's, the guy he's trying to take down, the bomb maker, the watchmaker. I think that was his name. I'm sorry. There's that guy. It was the last episode. He's played by the actor Dallas Roberts. But I think Dwight's gonna somehow sway that guy to come on board with him somehow, and they're gonna fuck over Musso. And that's kind of like my theory. I think that's what's gonna happen with that. So, but in the episode, I like when I said I didn't think a whole lot was going on, and then what we had going on, like the whole thing with getting the bourbon back, the Montague bourbon back, I thought it was too easy. It was too easy. I thought Dunmeyer then was going to make them work for it, but essentially, so the episode starts. Let me just start here. The episode starts, immediately after the events, or maybe a day after the events. Everybody had time to lick their wounds or whatever. At least Tyson had time to lick his wound. But basically, Dwight dresses down the group, like, because I even was hard on Tyson. I put it all on Tyson. I mean, and I still feel that way. But Dwight brings up a good point. It's like, look, with family, and y'all left him in there. You shouldn't have left him there. So it's like, if he didn't want to leave, maybe somebody should have stayed just to keep an eye on him. But I mean, he was on some fuckboy stuff. Uh, but anyway, basically Dwight, he does what a good leader does. He sees the problem, he finds different solutions, and he puts people to task. And he ends up talking to Tyson because Tyson, he doesn't tell Tyson anything. And Tyson's like, oh, so I'm on the bench. And he basically tells him, you got to make it right. And Tyson decides to get active. And he goes and Mark, his father, ends up linking up with him. And then they go on this journey together to find their way to make up for his fuck up. And they do a good job. They figure out that the stripper Serenity, she definitely was working for them. I was about 70-30. I thought, yeah, she probably's working with them, but there's a possibility she wasn't. But she was. She's on the team. She's working with them. But we also learn a little bit about Mark. And I suspected this from season 1. But we learned that Mark wasn't the clean-cut guy always that he is now in life. And we get a little bit of his backstory. And what it sounds like is he kind of misses it. And I think he enjoys kind of, these little missions, like you said in I believe season 1, when they had the big brawl at the end of season 1. But I know he didn't like getting blown up, but I think there's a piece of him that misses it. He misses being out, getting active like that, getting busy. It kind of reminds me of that it reminds me of the other guys when he's like, there's a darkness inside of me and it wants some walking around money, and that's what I think Mark is like. There's a little bit of him that's enjoying this, and he's bonding with his son. But they end up tracking Cole down to where the bourbon store. They called Dwight, and they bag up Cole and basically tell Dunmire, give us the bourbon, or we're gonna send your son to the afterlife. And for a second there, I mean, it looked like Dunmire was like, well, I mean, he got himself caught. I don't know. He starts talking about, Jesus sacrificed himself. All this. So, but all in all, he finally lets Cole. He agrees. Yeah, give me my son back. You guys can take your bourbon back. Which I think ultimately Cole will turn against his father by the season's end, because I mean, Cole appears to be his whipping dog, and you can only beat on a dog so much before the animal shows his teeth. And I think that's what's going to happen, because we've also seen that Cole, there is a softer side to him. I can't remember the character's name. It's played by Sylvester Stallone's daughter, but she was about to be assaulted in a parking lot, and he came, broke it up, and saved her or whatever. And so there is a little bit of goodness in this guy. And I think what's going to end up happening, he's just going to turn. He's going to turn on his father. He's just going to get sick and tired of it, because like I said, it appears he's his dad. Dad is just treating him like, just mistreating him, and it's just going to come a point where he's not going to want to put up with it anymore, and he's going to turn on his father. I think that's going to be the ultimate demise of the Dunmires. I think Cole is just going to turn on him, and that will be the end. It'll be one where Jeremiah never saw it coming. It's going to be his own son, because he never would expect anything of his son. He kind of thinks of him as kind of a loser that's just kind of a disappointment to him, and so that's what usually happens in these situations. The person you don't expect is the one that is your ultimate demise. And I think Cole's going to be his father's ultimate demise. But yeah, I mean that. And then, like I said, there was other stuff that happened. There's a subplot with Bodie and Grace, which, I mean, it's pretty obvious that they're going to hook up. They're going to be a thing. They're shipping them together. You can see it. I mean, Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder can see it. Those two are gonna be a thing, because they're just closely working together. We see that, they got the bourbon, but Bodie, using his tech savviness, he messed everything up for them, messed up their routes and everything. And so him and Grace, I've seen it since the first episode of this season. It's slowly it's blossoming into a relationship. So, But outside of that was it, guys. That was it. That was the episode. Really, there was nothing else really going on. Like I said, there was some behind the scenes stuff with New York, Quiet Pete, Vince, and Bill. But I just thought they got it too. They got the bourbon too quick, or it was just too easy. Like, I thought it would have been a little bit more of a challenge. That's all. But yeah. Like I said, guys, that is it. That is it. There's really nothing else to report. Guys, like I always say, man, if it's for 1 minute, 5 minutes, or the whole damn video, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to view my content. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe, smash the like, get in the comments, tell me what you thought about this episode, and please, like I said, I'm trying to grow this channel. And I had another channel. It's P's Reviews. But I decided I don't know, YouTube's being weird. So I just decided to start a whole new channel. So you may have seen my other channel before, but I wanted to start anew on this channel. And so please, guys, like I said, putting in the work, hit that subscribe, smash that like. Let me grow this channel. I want to exceed my other channel. Like I said, YouTube's on some weird stuff. And so hopefully this channel has a better outcome than the other channel. So yeah, guys, with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Do me a favor. Take it easy.